do next in order to stay ahead of the game. Pieces of that will be to disconnect from media. When I say media, stop watching the news so much. Remember, they're only giving you what they want you to know. They're not telling you everything. That's why it's so important to have a relationship with a higher power of your own understanding so that you can be ahead of the game. That's the only way to be ahead of the game. So you know what I'm saying? They came out with these shots, right? They had the COVID shots and the boosters. And granted, I'm about to speak on some controversial stuff here, but let me say this. I don't fucking trust our government. Right? At some point in time, my phone gonna overheat and it might cut off right when I start talking about this, because nevertheless though, I'm gonna go ahead. 97, what's up? Thank you for Stream Streets. Thank you for the gold star and the playlist. Sharif says, you're so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. AJ Good Game, thank you for joining. So here I am, you know what I'm saying? And, in order for us to be ahead of the game, we need to tap into our roots. When I say we need to tap into our roots, come out of that church, y'all, seriously. Seriously. I'm not pushing negative stuff here. The reason I'm saying it is because it's going to continue to keep your mind cloudy, and you're not really going to be able to connect to the source like you need to. We need to be prepared. As power dynamics are changing. Wow, okay. They came straight from the heavens. The power dynamics are changing. The power dynamics are changing and they are afraid. When you move about in this world, please move in a positive way. Because understand, karma comes back. And so it's important for us to show love to one another. It's important for us to take care of ourselves. So let me say this. Let me go ahead and be transparent. So when I got on this site, right, I've been 4 years not in a relationship, and that has been purposeful. I got into somewhat of a situationship that prompted me to do some more internal work. It was a toxic situation, and because of the knowledge that I have about behavior and psychology, right, I played the game. I feel like I won the game. When I say I played the game, I kind of want to tell y'all about it. I don't know if y'all want to hear all of this, because it's a lot to it. Let me say this. So hey, I'm going to take y'all on my healing journey, just a little bit of it. About May of last year. The reason that I've been single for 4 years is because I was previously married. And that's a whole nother story for another time. So let me talk about the 4 years, this last 4 years. In this last 4 years, I have decided to take a break and to heal, because for all of my adult life, the majority of it, I have been in long-term relationships. And you know, people always be like marriage, and that's usually the end route. And marriage is a good thing for some folk. I ain't gonna say it wasn't a good thing for me. It was. I learned a lot. I loved a lot. I had an excellent. I have great memories. I have some not so good memories, but I choose to focus on the good ones. But I say that to say, so 4 years into this process, right? I had met somebody last year in May. I typically don't do the online dating, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't typically do the online dating. It's just because it's something that I have been unfamiliar with, number one. Number two, y'all don't fucking kill me. Don't kill me for saying this. But I felt like it was for losers. I'm like, that's for people that can't meet people as they moving about. But the pandemic hit, and I don't even go out that much. So here's the reality: if the pandemic never would have hit, I still probably really wouldn't be dating like that, because my life was so ingrained in school and work and being a mom that I just didn't have time to engage in dating for real. Shout out, I graduated this May. You know what I'm saying? So that opened up a lot of time. But last May, I had met somebody on an online dating site. I would tell y'all the name of it, but I ain't gonna tell you that. Anyway, it wasn't a well-known site. But it was a site specifically for the purposes of what. Really wasn't for dating. It really for adult purposes. Let me put it like that. So anyway, so it was like May of last year, and there was several red flags. And I'm gonna tell y'all real quick what the red flags is. And the sad part about it is, because of my experiences in long-term relationships and dating, I feel like I am so aware of toxic traits that it greatly diminishes who I date seriously. And that has been no one yet, because I'm so guarded that as soon as I see some shit that look like a red flag, and I don't even want to lower my guard. I really don't, because I feel like had I been or paid more attention to red flags, then I wouldn't even ended up in that situation. But May of last year, I met somebody. And so anyway, for all intents and purposes, I'm not the person for adult activities only. And my job has been, at that point, it had been about 3 years. Adult activities only. Still not for the purposes of getting in anything that looks like a relationship. Why? Because let me be honest, I was enjoying the variety. That's the honest to goodness truth. I was enjoying the variety. I still like variety. And that's just me being transparent with myself. And it's not that, you know what I'm saying, I always had options, but I've always been a faithful woman. And I still am. I'm just not in a relationship, so I'm operating as a single woman. So me and this gentleman met on like a Thursday evening for the specific purposes of adult activities, right? So we met, and I'm gonna go ahead and be real transparent. We met on a Thursday night, y'all, and I was under the influence. I drank a couple of wine coolers. I had smoked a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I was feeling myself, right? So the next morning, as we left the hotel, right, I looked back to say bye. In my mind, I said, what the fuck are you doing, shorty? I'm talking to myself. Because I'm like, shorty, his smile crooked. Like his teeth chipped up. I'm like, and I just kind of laughed at myself as I pulled away. And I said, you know what? You did what you came to do. You good. We good. We gonna let that one ride. So that evening, I was on live, and the individual was texting me, and this was like the day after, which was a Friday. We met on a Thursday night. On that Friday, he had texted me, and I was on live, so I didn't respond right away. And by the time I responded, he was like, he's like, you want to hang out tonight? And then he was like, never mind, you're not answering me. I guess that means no. And so when I got off live, I realized he had texted, so I texted back like, yeah, we can hang out. It's Friday night. And so we ended up spending the night together from Friday into Saturday. Now, here's where shit started, the real red flags started to kind of pop up. So on Saturday, he like, what you doing today? I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I had gotten rid of my kids, and so they was at some family house. So I had pretty much a free weekend almost. So I'm like, I'm not really doing nothing. So he's like, you want to hang out with me at my house? I was like, all right, that sounds cool, because I ain't had nothing planned. We get to his house, and it's not his house, y'all. It's his mom's house. Now, I just told y'all my age. I'm 41. This man was 45 years old. That was red flag number one. Red flag number one is that you live with your mom. But let me tell y'all about how reasonable I can be. And when I say how reasonable I can be, I'm not reasonable like that no more. And I'm not reasonable like that no more because of the shit I done been through. Not just in this situation, but in other situations. I've been so reasonable that I'm like, fuck the being reasonable anymore. I'm just not doing it because it always winds me up in fuckboy shit. So, you know what I'm saying? So what he forget to tell me is that he lived with his mother. Oh, but y'all know the story. I don't live with her. She live with me. She pay all the bills, but she live with me. So I get to the house, you know what I'm saying, and he living with his mother. Then his sister show up, and they real nice, you know what I'm saying? They cool as shit. They like, yo, his birthday later on this month. It's in like 3 weeks from now. We taking a trip out of town to Florida. You should go with us. So I look, because I recognize, like, they don't know this, but I'm like, he just met me 3 days ago. But they don't know this. But I know this. That's red flag number 2. Red flag number 1, you live home with your mother at 45. Red flag number 2 is that you only know me 72 hours. And in 72 hours, I've met your mother and your sisters. All right. But here is how I made excuses. I said, cool, I know he ain't got no woman, because if he had a woman, there's no way he would have introduced me to his family. How about when the whole family in on that shit, y'all? And I really can laugh about it because I'm just like, wow. Anyway, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling secure in that fact. I'm like, all right, you ain't got no woman because, you know what I'm saying, I done met the family or whatever. And it's kind of a short... So his excuse for living home with his mother was, I had my own place. I had an accident. Well, no, my house started failing and I had sciatica nerve. And because of my sciatica nerve, I lost my job. And so I lost my apartment and I had to move on with my mother. The thing about toxic people is they don't tell you the whole truth. They tell you their perception of what the truth is, which is never really the entire truth. It's only a snapshot of what has really occurred. So what he failed to tell me that I later found out was that he didn't just lose his apartment. That shit had been like 4 or 5 years ago. So you mean to tell me in 4 or 5 years, sir, you ain't get back up on your feet and get out your mom's house? But I found that out not because he told me, because I happened to be looking at the dates on some pictures of his apartment, and I realized the dates were years ago. All right. But here we go. Me, you know what I'm saying, being reasonable. I said, well, you know, Glenda, sometimes people just run up on hard times. You can't judge the man because he live home with his mother. Like, shorty, come on, you done had some hard times. You know what I'm saying? But never mind the fact, I have. And I done had to move home to my grandmother's house, not my mother, because my mother won't let me move home to her house. She would never let me move home to her house. That's a whole nother story for the whole nother time. But nevertheless, right, I was allowed to stay maybe a year. My peoples was like, nah, shorty, you grown. You gonna have to do something. And they pretty much, you know what I'm saying, pushed me to, no, you gotta do something. So nevertheless, so that was the part. So then here's your other red flags. Here were the other red flags. He told me that he had 5 kids. Yo, I said I can justify some stuff, and I'm reasonable. Reasonable becomes dumb after a minute, right? I'm going to be real clear. I'm going to be, real transparent. Reasonable becomes dumb after you see several red flags and your ass don't say, hold the fuck up. So hence why I'm not so reasonable no more. So he said he had 5 kids, right? 5. All right, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the honest to goodness truth. I got 4. 2 of them are grown. 2 of them are here in the house with me. So, I'm like, shorty, you kind of neck and neck with that one. But here's the hit. There's a difference here. And let me tell y'all what the difference is. He had 5 baby mamas. 5 kids, 5 baby mamas. I said I'm reasonable, right? So here's what he said. That I was like, okay, I guess I could deal with that. He said, I got 5 kids and 5 baby mothers, but they all grown except for 1. So you know what I said? I bet I can work with that. You know why I can work with it? Me and my reasonable ass. I said I could work with it because I ain't got to deal with no baby mama drama except for the one, which is the youngest, and the youngest was like 12. So I was like, man, this'll be a breeze. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be too heavy. We can deal with this. So as we're embarking upon this, so I met him in May. Within 72 hours, I had met the mother and I had met the sisters. Within a month of that time, we had taken a trip to Miami. Now, I said, y'all, I like fun, right? I never negated to tell him, like, yo, I'm here for the fun. So whenever shit like arguments will pop off, I'll be like, check this out. I'm here for fun. I'm not here to argue. So if this is what we're going to do, then we can't do it because this is not what I'm here for. So we go to Miami. I say all that to say, I said a little earlier I was going to talk a little bit about the polyamorous lifestyle, but let me just talk about how the fact that my fun includes adult activities, okay? Let me get a little more specific. Swinger adult activities. And ain't no shame. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed about it. It is what it is. I said I like variety. So again, remember I said I didn't want to be in a relationship because I've also said I'm faithful in relationships. Meaning, if I'm in a committed relationship, no, I will not cheat. Hence, why I haven't wanted to be in anything committed because I like variety right now. I'm okay with variety right now. I don't want the same thing all the time. And so this is only a year ago. I'm still in that state of mind. I am at that place where I'm like, I'm enjoying the variety of life. And so we go to Miami, you know what I'm saying? And we have a great time in Miami. And everything went, as planned. We come back. And at this juncture, we done spent days and nights together. So while we're not in a committed relationship, it's somewhat of an unspoken agreement that we're gonna be kind of transparent and honest with each other, right? And granted, I'm gonna be transparent and honest. I ain't really doing nothing at this juncture. Like I'm not moving. When I say I'm not moving, I'm not saying a bunch of different men at this juncture because I just ain't never really been that type to see a bunch of different people. Why? Because I just don't. First of all, most men, honestly, are not gonna meet my criteria. And when I say my criteria, even I just, it might be something small. If I'm moving like that, I'm moving based off of physical characteristics. And so when I say let me be transparent, it means I'm looking to see, am I physically attracted to what you look like? And I'm moving in my masculine energy here. So let me be clear about that piece too. I'm not moving in my feminine energy. Because I've been single for 3 years, so I'm moving kind of in my masculine energy. So that means I got to be physically attracted, and I'm not physically attracted to everyone. So you know what I'm saying. So at this juncture, while I'm dealing with this individual, I'm not really talking to nobody too much. I'm talking to a couple people here and there, but it ain't amounting to nothing. And so we on the way back. We gets back, and he had bought something that he had to return to the store. He had to put his GPS system on his phone. But as we drive into as we landed from our flight, a call came through that was on Bluetooth. And the call had a female's name. So I looked. The female's name was Sarah. So I said, Sarah? Who is Sarah? Told y'all I'm African American, so my mind go to Sarah must be a white girl. I don't know no black girls named Sarah. Y'all don't know too many black girls named Linda shit. But nevertheless, I said, Sarah. So he didn't answer the phone. I'm real direct. I don't beat around the bush. I don't play games. I'm too old for that shit. So I look right at him. Who is Sarah? Oh, Sarah, you know what I'm saying? My phone is on her name. Sarah be calling me for the phone bill money. You know what I'm saying? So every once in a while, I answer the phone, I cash out for the money, but we don't talk about nothing sexual. I said, oh, all right. I let that go. But let's be clear. I already had took note. You ain't answered the phone for Sarah, though, when she called, and I was in your presence. So that means that you want to have a conversation with Sarah that I can't hear, which means you're probably talking about some shit more than what you just told me, sir. But fine. We're going to go along with your little dumbass story. So You know what I'm saying? I said, all right, cool. He had to go take something back. This was only like a day or two later. He had to go take something back to the store. So he goes in the store. He leaves the phone sitting right there unlocked. Now I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I do go through phones, especially if I'm dating you and it's serious. Because I got fucking trust issues. That's why I ain't dating y'all, because I'm trying to work through them fucking trust issues. And it's not because I ever been cheated on. It's not because I've been cheated on. It's just because I know how people can lie. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I'm single. Because I recognize that there's some areas I got to work on. You know, so anyway, so he sat there and I wrestled with myself on the inside, like, shorty, do we want to go through this phone? And hold on. That fucking seat get a little uncomfortable. So I'm like, sure. I'm like, do we want to go through this phone? This is me having a conversation with myself. I said, do we want to go through this phone? What's going on, GoFam? I'm talking about this toxic ass shit I had gotten to a year ago. Sorry. Y'all was not going to that. So I said, shorty, this is me talking to myself. Do we want to go through this phone? You already know how that go. This is me having a conversation with myself. And I said, so if you know, if we go looking for something, we're going to find something. Number one, do you really want to go down that road? And then I said, but then the other side said, but do you want to be emotionally falling for someone who is fucking playing you? And my mind said, shorty, come on now. He left it right there. It's unlocked. If you don't take advantage of this opportunity and that nigga play you down the line, you're going to be the one that's going to be mad with yourself because you had opportunity right now to kind of figure out what the hell he up to. So I talked myself into looking through it. And when I decided to go through it, I wasn't going through it with a fine-tooth comb, not to really look for anything. Guess what I was looking for specifically? You got it. Shorty, sorry. I need to see what they've been texting. So I look at that phone, right? Sir, and they're talking about, I don't know how much I can say at this point here, y'all. Sir, on it, I learned my lesson doing that. Yeah, you know what? I will say this. This is why, I'm single right now, is because I'm still healing. Will I go through somebody's phone again? Yeah. I will. If it's gonna protect my heart, I definitely will. And I definitely would do it early on because I wouldn't want to do it later on. My heart already attached, and so the opportunity or the chances that you're gonna break my heart later on down the line are greater than they are earlier down the line. See, earlier down the line, if I find out something going on, then I got the opportunity to protect my heart. And so, granted, this might sound like I'm justifying and rationalizing this distrustful behavior of mine. I have no problem with pointing out that there's trust issues, not because I've been cheated on, but just because I've been betrayed. Let me put it that way. I've been betrayed in my lifetime. Not cheated on, betrayed, but betrayed in other ways. So, hold on, y'all. Yeah, bye.